Oh, hold up. We got to be consistent. What's going on, you guys? We back. It's been like 3 weeks since we've been did the Attic Show. To be fair, I was traveling and then I got sick. I left on a Wednesday and came back on a Wednesday. So like by the time I got home, it was like almost midnight, and I left way before the Attic Show even took place. I left like that Wednesday at like 6 in the morning. So what's going on, you guys? Welcome to the Attic Show. We talk about the past, present, future game. I got my co-host with me, Dirt Grady. What's going on, Dirt?
What's up, my brother? Glad to see you back. Glad to see you feeling better, man. Oh, snap. Oh, snap that cough. It's all good. Good to see you back, man. Hope you have fun over there at PAX East with the rest of the fellas.
Yeah, I went to New York after that.
Oh, did you? Okay, so you went to it was in Boston, right? Did you guys went to New York after that? Well,
yeah.
I know, like, no, I know like a couple of the guys live in New York, but all of them except for you, right?
Yeah, I live.
Yeah.
I live in the border between West Virginia and Virginia.
Oh, okay.
What's funny is like PAX East was fun, but I'm actually right before the podcast started, like an hour. I got a review code to a game I've been like highly anticipating, and I was like, man, like I'm sitting here like looking at this review code. I'm like, I knew I couldn't skip another week of the Attic Show. Like I knew I could, even though I could have, and just be like, you know what, it is what it is. There's just so much to talk about this week. Like,
yeah,
like obviously there's a lot of stuff going in place. Let me go ahead. I wasn't gonna do timestamps, but last thing I need is them people on me too.
Yeah, man, you don't want no problems with the timestamp mafia, man.
Yeah, I already have enough issues. Let's not add more. So, I think we're gonna have a pretty good show. I did see someone in the chat saying, "Addict, are you gonna talk about? Are you gonna talk more about the
30 FPS?
The 30 FPS? Look, here's my thing, Dirt.
Mm-hmm.
People in my chat, people in the chat of IOP are like calling me a fraud because I said I didn't really, it's not that I didn't like what I saw Hellblade 2. It's just I didn't like Hellblade 1, so I thought maybe they would put newer systems in Hellblade 2 that would make it more appealing to me. And all I said is it didn't look like they did. Like the combat looks kind of similar to the Hellblade 1, and oh my god. But what's funny is when I was talking mad smack about Forspoken,
yeah,
that chat was about to just jump straight in. Like,
well, you know how it goes. Me, I liked Hellblade 1. I didn't love it. I liked it a lot, but this one looks incredible to me. I'm looking forward to it because I thought the combat in part 1 was simple, but I enjoyed the combat. It was basic, but I liked it. And this one looks to be similar, a little bit more brutal, a little bit more aggressive with some of the kills that we've seen so far. So I'm looking forward to them. I think it's gonna be a damn good game.
Yeah, I think here's the thing, like people act like me, like to me, and this is just me. Do you think that me being a fraud would have been me talking about that game and not making it transparent that I didn't like and didn't really play the original one? Like I made that all transparent. I was like, look, like, when it comes to this particular thing, I didn't like the first one too much. And and it has nothing to do with really even the game itself. It's just like when she like whispers in my ear, man, I don't know why I can't do that.
Well, you know what
I
it is,
can't do that.
I gotta be honest with you, man. I think maybe like don't take it as personal because even some of the homies tell me, and you know me, I'm a bot. I bleed green. But when I tell some of the homies I loved PS2, I love God of War 2018. Didn't care for Ragnarok as much. I love The Last of Us. part 1, part 2. They like, "Dirt, you pony bot," but it's all good, man. So I wouldn't take it too personal, man. People.
I really don't
hear what
care,
they
to
want
be
to
honest,
hear.
what they have to say. Here's the thing. I do think a lot of the time they're very emotional with this kind of stuff. And I'm not. So, here, and what's funny is like people sit there and they're like, well, addicts just doom and gloom. It's like, dude, I guarantee you there are people on the internet that's doing doom and gloom content. They choose the negative stuff to talk about because they know that it generally gives them more viewership than like the positive stuff. But like I talk to Dirt all the time off camera. I would love to talk about some of the positive stuff, and I do, but it seems like the Xbox people hyper focus on my negative talk about Xbox, and the PlayStation people hyper focus on the positive stuff I talk about Xbox. Like right now, I have a positive Xbox video on my channel. Only people in that comment section really is PlayStation fanboys. So it's funny because it's like, look, like, sometimes as content creators, we have to look at what is performing well and what is not performing well. To me, it doesn't matter how it performs, but when I look at my analytics, it's like, oh, you guys don't want me to talk positive about it because you ain't nowhere to be found in the comment section. I'm going like, it's like 1 versus 100 in that comment section. Got every PlayStation person you can think of in that comment section just hitting me over and over again. But it is what it is. Here's the thing, like, I'm not the kind of person to like be oblivious to stuff. Like, I enjoy the content, and that's where it is. That's where it comes to. Tomorrow I'm gonna make a video about Dead Space because I've always talked about other stuff, but here recently, you want more positive stuff. I'm gonna start talking about the positive stuff that I want to talk about, not the positive stuff that you guys want to hear.
Yeah, I understand.
So Thick Pain said it just seems like a lot of negative from you and a lot of whining and complaining and making a big deal about it. The problem is Shaun says anyone can get it. So all right, so let's go. Let's do this, Thick Pain. What am I doing that's negative or positive? Because if you look at my channel, here's my last couple videos. New Xbox Gears game coming out. Hellblade's looking to be a great game. Xbox joining forces with Steam. Xbox Series X digital leaked. I'm not making this negative stuff that you guys put it in your head about. It's just I'm not only talking positive about the brand either. I talk about what to me appeals to me. And I do feel like, some people they don't want to hear the negative stuff, but I hate to break it to you. Just because you don't want to hear it, don't make it don't exist.
Hey, can I give you my take on it?
Sure.
I think what part of the problem is lately, there's been a lot of doom and gloom, right? There's been a lot of doom and gloom from pro Xbox channels. Now, I don't know if you consider yourself a pro Xbox channel, but I consider you more of an in-between channel. But from a lot of pro Xbox channels, there's been a lot of doom and gloom. And I think some of the Xbox homes, I can't speak for all of them, but I've talked to some of them personally, and we understand the criticism. A lot of us was upset about their games going to other platforms. There are some things Xbox is doing. A lot of us diehard bots might not be a fan of. But what happens is, like, a lot of people lost their mind on the 30 FPS thing, and that's their fine. That's their opinion. They can feel how they want to feel. But I think what happened with all of the doom and gloom, people come to pro Xbox channels like mine, because they don't want to keep on hearing the doom and gloom all the time. So maybe you might have had a video, maybe 5 videos ago, where you was doom and gloom, and that made those guys not even click on your positive Xbox videos because you was doom and gloom on this one video.
It's funny. The first comment I got on my video today was, "I had to give up. The Xbox is dead." Like,
oh, that was from a pony though. Yeah.
So that's my point though. I personally feel like right now, these PlayStation people are in my comments way more than Xbox people. So I mean, maybe that's like a variety of things. People don't want to talk about certain things, and that's cool. But it's just like, what I wasn't going to talk about Hellblade. You know, we'll save Hellblade for later on in the show, because what's funny is like people act like I like trash talk the game. That's not the case, but we'll get to that in a second. First thing I want to talk about, and it's not Xbox related, is did you see what's going on with this Dead Space 2 remake?
I have, yeah, I have seen that.
Apparently, it got canceled.
Yeah, but I don't know if you saw the update where EA Motive said that's not true.
They're lying.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, they're
lying.
I
was surprised that the remake didn't sell well.
It sold. It sold great.
Okay.
The problem is look at a company like EA, and they're looking at, okay, this is what Motive made on Dead Space, and this is what all the EA Sports games make on their microtransactions. They're probably making in one day what they made in their whole span off of microtransactions. So, and that's what I think it is. I do. Like, these companies are not happy with making a lot of money. They want to make more money than they made the last 30, 40 days. And you're seeing, I do. I think this industry is spiraling out of control.
I agree.
I feel like the greed has got to the point where it's the highest it's ever been. And, you know, people aren't happy with billions of dollars in profits. They want a little bit extra billions of dollars in profits. And there's only so much you can milk from a consumer base. It's not that the industry isn't growing. It's that they haven't been able to milk the industry anymore.
Listen, Dead Space remake was so great to me, bro. I believe I told you this when it came out. I went back and played part 2 and 3 with backwards compatibility on Xbox. And then I realized I didn't finish 2 and 3 because achievements were popping up. And I was like, yo, it was incredible. So, you know, it's a disappointment to see the game didn't sell as much as EA wanted it to sell. And then also I hate that because it didn't sell as much as they wanted, we might not get like part 2 remake or even another franchise if they want to go to another franchise, you know. So that's the one thing that upsets me, that we probably won't get. Like if the Splinter Cell remake, if that flops, they'll probably never do anything with Splinter Cell again.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
So apparently, and this is just like an article, EA projected to sell 5 million Dead Space remakes,
and they didn't meet that.
Who the hell would think that game would sell 5 million? And it only sold 2 apparently.
Yeah, you know, honestly, Addy, I don't think 5 million's too.
That's a lot. That's lot.
It is, but I mean, it's a franchise that was pretty popular, not hugely popular in the 360 PS3 generation. It was pretty popular. I thought maybe it would have sold at least 5, but you saying only sold 2, so that's a flop to them. Okay,
and it's like maybe when you made Dead Space 2, one would think that would encourage people to buy Dead Space 1. It's just. That I really do.
You know, Big Bad Mo, you're right. It is a horror game. Horror games are kind of niche. You're right about that, Big Bad Mo. That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. I think you're right. Expecting the horror game to sell 5 million, maybe.
But Resident Evil 4 sold well.
It did. right there you go.
But maybe it's unfair to say Resident Evil 4 because I think we can agree that like Resident Evil is one of the exceptions, not the rule. Like Resident Evil 4 is considered by me too to be the best Resident Evil made.
Yeah, and it's the biggest horror franchise, right? I can't think of another one. Silent Hill don't compare to Resident Evil. Yeah, I think it's the biggest horror franchise, actually. Yeah,
I just felt like I'm really disappointed because I really wanted them to remake Dead Space 3 in a different way. Like, I like the co-op aspect. And did you know the original developers wanted to make the second person that you played as your co-op partner, that's not Isaac, wanted to make him a figure of his imagination the whole game.
That would have been sweet, bro. That would have been pretty. That would have been sweet as hell.
But EA reached their hands in and changed it.
That would have been pretty dope. And listen, I'm going to tell you, when I played 2 and 3, bro, those games still hold up. And those games were freaking awesome. They work 100%.
it's frustrating, man, because it's like the games that I love, they don't seem like they get any love anymore. And the way finances and the way corporations work, that's the reason that these companies go so hardcore for games as a service, because it's the only model that is friendly towards a corporation ladder.
Yep.
Like
that's the time
back in the day, you could sell a couple million games to be successful because it was at the beginning and they had low expectations. But when you consistently push the rock down the river, yes, I'm gonna say that, and that gap gets bigger and bigger, then you're gonna obviously want more. Like, I talked to a developer and he said yes. He said there is a lot of inflation going on, but a lot of this is greed. A lot of this is greed. It's not. He even told me. He would tell me in some aspects how these publishers and stuff say, games are taking more expensive to make. It's not that they are more expensive to make. It's that they spend a lot of money just trying to figure out a way to monetize the game.
Wow.
And when you look at situations like what's going on with we can't act like these developers are innocent in the matter. Look what happened with Destiny. Phenomenal game, selling well. Instead of improving that metric and making a Destiny 3, they're like, let's go make an extraction shooter. Okay, well, let's keep people here to keep our moneymaker around. No, we good. Let's put all the talent in the extraction shooter. Then wonder why Destiny starts to fall behind, because your best people are making something else. Agree. A remake should not have been $70. Maybe that was the issue. Yeah. Maybe that I don't know. Was Dead Space $70?
I believe so. If I'm not mistaken,
it should have been 40. I think 40.
Maybe at least 50. At least 40, 50, because it was a remake, not a remaster, but 50 at least. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it is what it is. Let me get this super chat. Shout out to Face. I always butcher how you want
Face
me to.
2KBKNY.
2KBKNY with a generous $20 super chat. Not pre-ordering or buying Star Wars Outlaws until they confirm they have a performance mode for consoles. Ooh, that's a good no, I want to get into that, but I have a feeling that I'm end up ranting out of it will go into being about Star Wars, and I'll somehow make it about Hellblade.
I've seen a bunch of people feels like they didn't like the trailer. They don't think the game looks great. I think the game looks fine. I'm gonna get it, even though I'm not a big Star Wars fan.
Like, what else are we gonna play right now?
Yeah, when it comes out in August, so we got something to play before August. But so they didn't confirm if it had a performance mode or not.
I don't think they did.
Okay, so if it doesn't, you're not gonna play it on the console.
I'll play it on PC.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I was about to say that. I think, I don't know if you want to talk about it now, but let me just say this right quick. I'm starting to realize.
Yeah, let's just talk about Hellblade. Like it's clearly going to be brought up to some degree.
Yeah,
so let's talk about Hellblade.
I just want to say this right quick. I'm starting to realize 3 years into this generation that consoles, if you're expecting consoles to, like even some of the stuff we've heard about the world's most powerful console, people say PlayStation is more powerful, PlayStation is powerful, this and this and that. I'm starting to realize if you really want the best frame rates, the best resolution, you should probably be a PC player. That's kind of what I'm thinking now.
All right, so let me
so what we don't say console, say Xbox.
So we are officially talking about Hellblade. Here's my thing. I think Hellblade is an exception because I do think that what I think that Ninja Theory is trying to do is they're trying to make sure everyone has the same experience playing it. If you give people performance mode and some reviewers are looking at the performance mode and the fidelity mode, it's going to be an inconsistent experience. And that would be okay with the majority of games. But Hellblade is a different type of game. So they want people, especially on the console end, they want them playing at the same type of experience. I still think you should get the option of a performance mode, and that's fine. That I think that the thing is when you look at what other people have done, there's been way more performance mode games on here than non-performance mode games, and I don't even think it's necessarily about whether or not they can perform this performance mode on Hellblade. It's time. They want the game out in May because look what happened to Redfall. They kind of acted like they couldn't do it, and then they said, "Well, we'll have the patch out later on this year." And it took them 6 months.
Yeah, about 6-7 months. Yeah,
I do think that they can do a Hellblade one, but at the same time, Ninja Theory's focus is making sure that you experience, because this is a cinematic game. This is a very cinematic game. So this is one of the times where I'm a little bit more forgiving. But if I could go somewhere else and play it at 60 frames, I'm going to. I don't agree that, if you want the best frames, you should get a PC. I think the bare minimum they should be offering is 60 frames. The problem is the developers don't see it as a priority, and most developers these days do. Spider-Man, almost every game I could think of had a performance mode. Even Jedi Survivor in its frame ratey ass game has a performance mode. Didn't work very well, but they did give you the option to do it. It's just like, the thing is if we keep going back and forth, we're never going to put our foot in the ground that this is where we want as a 60 frames performance mode. You should always give your consumers the option, especially when it's the standard. Can we agree that the standard right now on console is at least a performance mode for 60? That's a question to you, Derek.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was like reading this super chat. Now, what'd you say? What was the question?
What would you agree that the standard on console right now is there is a 60 frames performance mode for the most part on every game that gives you the option?
For the most part, but how many games, in your opinion, is truly next generation?
I feel you on that, and you can make the argument that stuff like Dragon's Dogma 2. Would you agree? Would you think Redfall is next generation?
It's not really. No, I think that game probably could have been on the Xbox One.
See, and that's fine, but here's the thing: just because I say I want a 60 frames game, it's not like I told. It would be different if people were attacking me because I was telling people not to play Hellblade. I have never. How many times on this podcast have I said Hellblade wasn't really it for me?
Yeah, you said that before. Yeah,
I've been very vocal on that. That Hellfall didn't really hit me too hard.
Hellfall.
Hellblade didn't really hit me too far. So I was expecting, what I was looking for was a huge in-depth rechange on how the combat is. But the people that play Hellblade's like, yo, this game's more with the cinematics. This game's more about a storytelling. That's not Hellblade. So it's not like I'm trying to change Hellblade. I just told you I was not a whole lot excited for what I saw. Game looks phenomenal. But how many times have I came in this podcast, Dirt, and said, they told us exactly what we knew. Hellblade's going to look phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, we've always known Hellblade was going to look good. Hellblade's always looked good. Hellblade was looking better than games that was next gen, last gen.
Yeah, absolutely. But Addict, let me ask you this. You brought up Dragon's Dogma. There was some people talking about this 30, but it didn't get the hate that Hellblade 2 is getting. Why is that?
Because it's one thing is because it's an exclusive. Another thing is because we have to agree, even though that there is some wording that you could say. Aaron Greenberg kind of wrote them into a box in a way. There's tweets where him saying the standard 60 frames. And I get it. He said, it's up to developers what they want to do. But to me, when I was reading those conversations, I saw more of our studios are going to be standard 60. And our third party things, it's not mandated. We're not going to make people that's not developing our first party games. We're not going to mandate them to make 60 frame games. That's how I saw it. But and you people say, well, that's not what he meant. That's exactly what he meant, because they have went away from the frame rate talk the past couple of years. They went away from that. And people said going by a 4-year-old tweet is pathetic as fuck. He still said it. He's an executive at a company saying, and it's not like he was kind of 1 foot out, 1 foot in. He's literally said that's the standard was 60 frames. And they could go up to 120 if they want. So why would I not assume that's not what they were going towards? And that's fine, that the technology. But I'm telling you, when your consumers consistently get performance modes, not just on Xbox, but PlayStation as well, most third parties have performance modes, you will think that, where is that coming? Because that's the reason Starfield got it. Now, I don't think Dragon's Dogma got it as bad, because Dragon Dogma came out and was a good game. Now, if Hellblade comes out and it's a good game, people, it's going to fall to the side. But I do understand where people for years, Dirt, and I think you can agree with this, years people have been playing performance modes on games. They just expect it. Is it right for an expectation? No, but when you take into consideration what, Aaron Greenberg said a few years ago, I would understand why people was like, yo, you told me on Twitter that 60 was the standard, and at that time we were getting 60 frame games. Maybe it was last gen games. It is what it is. That's why I went out and got an Xbox, because you put your foot in the sand, and I like that, in the dirt. And now we're kind of like going back. And I think if Hellblade was the only game, it would be not a whole lot of conversations. We went from Starfield to Redfall, and then we got Starfield, and then Forza came out, and it ran pretty well. It ran 60 frames, and now we're going from that right back to 30. And I'm not going to tell you guys not to play it. If that's something that you guys enjoy, definitely go out and try it out, man. Especially being in Game Pass. It's just at the same time, people that are being genuine, because there's a difference between people being genuine that really enjoy really good running games and people that are just using his excuse to shit on the Xbox brand. If they're just using it as an excuse, don't listen to them. But there are people generally that was like, yo, I wanted the game to run good. And it's not necessarily that it's going to run bad. I played Starfield on Xbox 30 frames just to see how it ran. That game actually ran good because it was mainly locked. But I understand why people are tired of playing games in the 360 era with the 30 frame stuff. And especially when we went from the Xbox One era where so many games with 30 frames, and we got that real big captivation where people like the Series S and the Xbox One X to a degree, they're like, these games are your 60 frame machines. That's why you buy these systems. That's your 60 frame machines, your 4K machines. You can still play 60 on the Xbox Series S, but that's really just like a 1080 machine. Now, doesn't mean that the expectation was fair. That's what people had of an expectation because of a couple years of playing games almost exclusively at 60 frames.
All right. I mean, it is what it is, man. I think if Hellblade 2 being a deal breaker with you personally, you should probably move to PC.
That's not a deal breaker. It's just...
I mean, but for some people it is. Some people was asking, like, I don't care how beautiful the game is. If it's 30, I'm not playing it. Okay.
Now, see, here's the thing: is like I prefer to play on Xbox, but I just got to the point there. It's like if I could play a game at 60, I'm gonna like switch. Then people got me by the balls. I got to play that nonsense Vaseline PowerPoint shit on there. I don't like it. But if I had the option to play it somewhere else, I'm gonna play it somewhere else. And that isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Eddie, let me ask you this: Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
I heard the performance mode was abysmal in there.
Still played it on performance mode.
Did you? But it ruined the I heard it ruined the graphics. Right?
They look drastically different. But I valued a clean, stylish combat that didn't feel like it was slowed down in any way, shape, or form than what the game looked like. Like, I play everything at performance mode. I played Spider-Man at performance mode, and they even told you could play that at the other one, and it's still fine. I play everything at performance mode. I've never played something that didn't have at fidelity mode when a performance mode was option.
You got quite a few super chats, bro.
Yeah, let's get to these super chats. I'm sure some of them are ain't feeling me. We'll get $5 super chat. The angry therapist. Yo, Everdy and Irony is back together, reunited, and it feels so good.
What's up, angry therapist?
Will you read that? My throat's starting to go. I got to get some water.
I'm a PlayStation gamer. The day Sony puts their exclusive single player and multiplayer games on PC day one, they now switch to PC. Xbox players has the option to do that right now because all Xbox games on PC day one. Yeah, man. I mean, listen, yeah, you're right about that, BKNY. Absolutely. 100%. Hey, what's up, little Larry? Little Larry.
All right, so we got a $2 super chat from Years of Lurking. Oh, God. How many Unreal Engine games on 60 frames consoles? I only know of one. The engine's
was RoboCop 60 FPS? I mean, was
yes.
RoboCop Unreal Engine 5?
I believe so. Look, the engine's irrelevant to the conversation. The conversation is gamers that has been kind of catered to playing at 60 for the majority of the games. And now that they're coming across, a couple games, not necessarily in a row, but especially from Xbox that's 30, should they want 60 frame games? I think that's more of the conversation than anything. Because I don't think anyone's denying that Hellblade, 2 doesn't look like the type of game that you would have to sacrifice those extra 30 frames. I think people are just like, is there a way to get it?
Yeah.
$2 super chat from Danny Passion Official. Being the standard doesn't mean all games. It doesn't, but when the games don't happen, that's not the standard, and not the games that, especially the games that I'm excited for, I'm gonna say y'all wanted that 60 frames.
Yeah.
$2 for GST. Bring it.
Just bring it.
Just bring it. I'm getting tired of Vaseline 60 frame game, 60 frame modes and games. Some of them look bad, but here's the thing. I just enjoy. I don't know why, but ever since I played Destiny, I actually think field of view is not looked at more. I think field of view is just as important as that extra 30 frames. Sometimes if I'll like raise a game up to 60 frames, but it's not till I up that field of view to like a 90 where I really start to feel like the game is fluid. I think people don't look at that field of view enough. But it is what it is. Here's the thing, like I ain't telling you guys not to go play Hellblade. I'm gonna be there right with you. And in the Xbox, most likely I'll get the Xbox and the Windows one. And if I can only get one, and they only send me an Xbox, I'll be right there playing 30 frames with you guys. I'm just saying, from my perspective, if I'm able to play on my PC that gives me the option to play 60, I'm gonna do that. Whew. They have announced what it's going to run on the PC Hellblade 2. I don't think they have. Have they announced the specs for Hellblade for PC?
No. Now I'm seeing a couple of ponies saying that Digital finally said it's under 1080p. Then I'm seeing some other people saying this. No, they're saying it's 1440p to 2K. I don't know, bro. I guess we'll have to wait till the game officially comes out. Who the hell knows?
I actually don't care if it was 900p. Ooh, all right. Let's move on. We don't need to talk about that too long.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this Fallout show. What you seen all the previews?
Yeah, man, it's getting great reviews. They're getting great reviews, actually.
I'm actually annoyed that Cog wasn't invited to that. He's usually invited to those little shows. Maybe they do too much stuff on the West Coast and never on the East Coast. Sometimes they'll do stuff in New York. I remember there was a particular thing going on, and I don't think it was ever like formally announced, but IOP almost flew me to New York for a preview because it came so fast. Pause. And really wanted other people than just Cog and doing that, because it was a last moment kind of thing. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth is sub 600p, and what's the funny thing? It didn't matter to me. I enjoyed every second of that game I played. I've always been that way when it comes to games or anything in general. But, when it comes to the Fallout show, it's looking like they got a banger.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like, bro.
I saw people say it was better than the Last of Us show.
I never did finish the Last of Us show, bro. I watched the first.
I did. It was okay. Did you see Halo season 2?
I watched the first 4 episodes of that. I didn't watch the last 4, so I got to catch up on both of them.
Great. They did a really good job on season 2.
Yeah,
season 1,
I enjoyed the first abysmal. 4 episodes. Yeah,
but season 2, that was it. That was it.
But I'm loving all of these video game shows and movie shows. They're supposed to do a Gears movie soon or something like that. I can't wait for that. The Borderlands movie, the trailer. Did you see the trailer for that?
No, there's a Borderlands movie coming out.
Yeah, Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart's in the Borderlands movie?
Yeah, yes. The trailer looked better than I thought it would. But
when did that come out?
Sometime this year. So, yeah, but the Fallout
Kevin Hart going to be the psychopath?
No, he's one of the characters. I'm not a Borderlands fan, but he's definitely one of the characters.
Chat, what character is Kevin Hart in the Borderlands movie? Do you think that Hollywood is taking gaming more serious?
Yeah, rolling.
Oh, that dude's tall and
yeah,
oh no, Roland's big.
Suspend disbelief. I guess you got to suspend disbelief with the movies, man. Yeah, he's playing Roland. Yeah. Claptrap is Jack Black. Yeah.
That's a good casting.
Yeah. He's doing the voice. So I thought the trailer looked better than I thought it was gonna look, but it still ain't really moving me because I don't really care for the franchise. But yeah, man. So yeah, Fallout's good. Yeah, listen, man. I don't know if you saw that trailer or like whatever it was, like behind the scenes trailer. Saw Ty Howard was talking with Phil Spencer was there on like one of the days of shooting. So that's pretty dope.
Yeah, Roland and Kevin Hart is half the size of the character. Yeah, Roland is a tall dude.
Oh, is he?
Well, Roland is the shooter dude. There's another dude. I hope Roland's not the big thick dude, the big bodybuilder dude. Hope to God it's not him. I can't remember what his name was. But oh my God, if that's him, then they got issues. Who's the siren? Chat, who's the siren? Who's playing the siren?
Let me look. Because like I said, I don't really know the characters on that game like that.
Who's playing Lilith? I need to know who Lilith is. Oh, that's gonna be an interesting time. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. Did they ever say what time frame Fallout is?
They didn't say. So Jack Black is Claptrap. Ariana Greenblatt. This a little she's playing Tiny Tina. She played in Avengers. She played the child version of Gamora. I don't know if you remember what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Gamora, she played the kid version of Gamora. She's playing Tiny Tina. Kate Blanchett is playing Lilith. Gina Gershon. Oh shit, I ain't seen her in a while. She's playing Moxie. Jamie Lee Curtis is playing, is it Tannis? I don't know who Haley Brenner. Yeah, Kevin Hart is Roland. Oh, that chick that played in that game, that Star Wars Battlefront 2, Janina. She's playing Nox. I don't know the rest of these people. So
that's interesting. I actually, what do you think is the best movie or TV show? And that goes to the chat too. I'm very curious to your guys' opinion too. The best show or movie to adopt the TV, the game as best as it could.
Now, are you talking about live action movie?
It doesn't matter. Animated too.
There was an animated Street Fighter cartoon in the 90s that was fire, bro. Street Fighter the movie, that was fire.
Yeah, I was going Edge Runners is probably what I would say.
Edge Runners. Oh, that's some cyberpunk stuff. Cause I never seen that.
That's really good. It's really, really good.
Yeah,
it actually made you like feel bad for the people in it.
yeah, I
And
never saw that.
they don't do that very often with me, but like they did. They made me feel bad.
Hey, same matters. Doom with the Rock. That movie was terrible, bro. I'm assuming you're joking. You're joking right now.
I think Sonic is good.
Sonic is good. The Witcher was pretty good. That show was pretty good. I enjoyed it. The first Mortal Kombat movie was pretty dope. Yeah, but that's Street Fighter the movie in the 90s.
You didn't like that last Mortal Kombat they made?
Oh, dog. No, hopefully they're doing a sequel though. Hopefully that it's like I thought the characters looked pretty good. I thought Scorpion and Sub-Zero
Castlevania was good. Someone said Castlevania.
I didn't even see that.
The Netflix Castlevania. The first 2 seasons I saw, and it was like epic. Those first 2 seasons.
Hey, Joe Dunmore, live action Mario Brothers. No, the Mario Brothers movie was good. Not the original live action one, like Joe Dunmore said, but the one they made. Like, was it 2 years ago with Chris Pratt? That was pretty good. Sonic. Yeah, I do like the Sonic movies. Mortal Kombat 2 finished last month. I hope it's better than that last one they made, bro. In the midst of COVID. I watched that on HBO Go. I was like, oof. My boy Joey told me it was gonna be trash. He was like, yo, it was trash. I was like, for real? I was like, yeah, it kind of was trash. And like, it wasn't no fight until like the end. Scorpion looked pretty sweet. Sub-Zero looked sweet, but yeah, it was a letdown.
Yeah, so it comes down to it. Do you think that with successes like the Last of Us, Halo to some degree, Sonic, looks like Fallout, do you think that they'll start being more, and Mario too, they'll start being more faithful to the games?
100%. I think they're going to start doing more video game adaptations, and also they're going to be a little bit more faithful to the game. Because I'm gonna tell you, the first episode of The Last of Us, that was the damn game. That was pretty much right, like just like the game. That first episode was, it was pretty good. And like I said, I can't wait for Gears. A Mass Effect movie would be dope, Tyrone. Mass Effect show, even like Dead. What's the game we used to talk about? Dead Space. I couldn't think about it. I was getting Dead Island mixed up with Dead Space. Yeah, all that stuff would be fire, man. I didn't care for those Mila Djokovic Resident Evil movies. I didn't care for those too much, though. If they ever do a Hellblade movie, they better get Melina Juergens to play Cinema, bro. Nobody else can play her. You know what I'm saying? That show would be depressing. So,
man, we get into the point where I feel like they're actually like, I have felt like they would cash in to these games, but they didn't respect us. You know what I'm saying? They'd be like, oh, we're gonna take these forms of art that these gamers like, but we don't give 2 shits that they like what we do.
Right. But now it could be money made, and now they're trying to. I think they're gonna.
That's why with Sonic, it doesn't matter how much time goes by, they will always get my money because they spent millions fixing Sonic's crackhead looking at.
Hey, listen, they spent $30 million fixing them, bro, and it was worth it.
And to me, on my end, I felt disrespected. But then when they said, yo, we got to fix this, and they went back and spent, like, that's a lot of money they spent on animation.
They spent $30 million to fix them, bro. $30 million.
Because they did that and they took our criticism, because they didn't have to do that, they're on their 3rd movie now. Yeah, because gamers showed up and showed out, and
they did well. Yep, both of the movies did well. But yeah, that was that was funny because I remember when they first showed it. Mega Man. I never cared for Mega Man.
I think that'd still be a good movie, though.
Yeah, possibly. I think it'll be a better cartoon.
Donataka says he has no faith in the live action League of Legends Zelda movie.
Are they doing one?
I think they are. I think Netflix is doing it, isn't it?
Okay. It's interesting. What would be the next franchise that should do a movie? Let me ask you this. I thought the Uncharted movie was okay. What you think about it?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was okay. Yeah.
I think people were too hard on it.
Yeah, I thought it was fine, man.
See, here's the thing, like, they never came out there openly like, I wanted Nathan Drake's, like, persona. I wanted the world. Like, I've never cared if they go along with the story or not. I get more critical when they choose to go with the story and they make dumb decisions about and changing the story of the games. But if you're doing an original ideal like they did with Sonic, Uncharted, and you're putting yourself in these movies, to me, as long as the characters are true to their name in the games, you can wing everything else. It's just the world has to feel like this could have easily been a game if the studio wanted it to.
Right. I don't know, man. It's you know, I liked Uncharted, but so what's that next game that will be that will make a great TV show or even a movie? I know Gears will. That's why they're going to do one. Netflix is supposed to do a Gears show, but I'm thinking, man, there's so many games out there with great stories. I know what would be a perfect TV show. Banishers. That would be a perfect TV show. How these people can talk to the dead. I mean, there might be TV shows already similar to it.
Redfall TV show. Yo, if they made a Redfall TV show, that'd be hilarious. It would do better than the game. Yo, if you really think about it, a Redfall TV show would, like, imagine it kind of gives me what was that? Someone in the chat, and I know you guys know what I'm talking about. It was a vampire show that had they had their own Dracula, but they called him the Master. It was in New York, and they kept chasing after him. I feel like
Blade.
Not Blade.
Trinity. Because part 3, that was kind of the story. Part 3. Oh, you talking about Vampire Diaries?
No. Man, I can't. It's in the top of my mind, and it was a great show. The Strand. That's what it's called. It was called The Strand.
The Strand. I never heard of it.
Yeah, so it's about I think if I remember how it started, a ship had a plane had a bunch of zombies on it, and they got out, and they found a box in the cargo bay, and it was the leader of them all, and he affected everyone. Then you find out there's like this ancient organization. I can't remember what they were called, but they're ancient vampires that hate the Strand leader, and they go after him. Like,
that was a TV show?
Yeah, it's called The Strand.
I never heard of it.
It was an FX show.
Okay. There's a movie that's about to come out within the next couple of weeks called, what's it called, Abigail or something, like about some vampire kid. It look interesting, bro. So everybody's saying Redfall TV show might not be that bad. It might not be that bad. That's not that bad of an idea, man.
Yeah, vampires. I think I said vampires, didn't I?
Yeah.
Strand was good. I've been meaning to watch True Blood, but I always mess up. Put in the chat some recommendations for us, man, while I get these super chats. $5 super chat for Don Taco. Digital Foundry is the worst thing to happen to gaming, but it's too many bums who can't tell the difference between 4K 900p throwing S's around with no knowledge.
100%, Don. 100%.
Oh, when you and Dirt agree on something, there's something wrong going on.
100% right. They the ones that really started this.
From Jax82. I'm going to be playing Hellblade 2 regardless of it being 60 frames. I'm not letting them off the hook. The PC players seem to have a better than console because the PC is an open market, but open platform. You have stronger components over there. But I agree with you. You know, we should still want a better experience regardless.
Yeah, absolutely. I would have preferred 60, but I'm not gonna, not play it because it's
$2 super chat from the Angry Therapist. Bad casting. I don't know which one he was talking about.
I think he's talking about Borderlands.
Oh, well, he's talking about a lot of shows, so I didn't know which one.
I think he's talking about Borderlands when he said that.
All right, so we got about 15, 20 minutes left. I want to talk about game preservation. Sarah Bond, in a leaked email, let me get this real quick. The Strand was great vampire show. I really recommend you try that.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
I think it's on FX or something. I would recommend that. And there's another game about aliens that I really like. It's called The Fallen or something like that. It's literally about, like, you ever heard of a game called XCOM?
Yeah, I have heard.
It's literally that they invade, but we can't hurt them. All their armors is like, we literally hit them with 50 cows and just bounces off their armor. And it's about like humanity fighting from a losing position and starting to learn their tactics. I mean, they enslave a bunch of us. They put like on our kids, they put like this thing on their back where it controls them. And
what's the name of that again?
It's called The Fallen.
Interesting.
It's like 5-6 seasons. But they eventually, like, they're in a losing position the majority of the show. Like, it's not, they run from one alien. Like, so it's interesting, man. So let's talk about game preservation.
I love it.
And how important is game preservation to you? Let me go let my dog in.
Yeah. Listen, guys in the chat, I don't know if y'all feel about game preservation, but that's something I do appreciate that Xbox does. I appreciate they believe in game preservation because, look, man, like, just like music, we always talk about music, how when I want to hear an old song, I can listen to it. Spotify has all of the old songs, and game preservation is important, man, because those games were around in the past, and I believe those games should still be around today. I love it, man. My auntie, she's always watched me play Toe Jam and Earl back when I was a teenager. She used to watch. I don't know what she liked. She liked that game. When I told her not too long ago, I said, they still have that game. I can play it. She was like, really? I was like, yeah, Toe Jam and Earl. She used to love that game. She used to love them trying to find the pieces of the spaceship and stuff like that. I think it's important, man, because nostalgia is a real thing, and game preservation is incredible. And I love that we don't like PC players experience. They don't have to hook up an old PC to play an old game. They can just play all of the old games on their current PC. And if you're a console player, I believe it's important. It's like Xbox. We have the BC program, and yeah, I love game preservation, bro. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I guess to me, I'm on the standpoint I don't really care, to be honest with you. Like, it's cool that we have these, and I'm glad that they are doing it. But I've never really been the kind of person to go back and play older games.
Really, man, you never get the urge. Like, you never get the urge.
Like, there are some games, like, sometimes I get the urge to go play back like old Zelda games, but that's like all. Like, I can't really, and even if I never could play the old Zelda games, I don't think I would be upset. I'm glad. Don't get me wrong. That's not me saying that this is not, like, important. It's important. It's just, to me specifically, I rarely use backwards compatibility on my console. Like, I might go back and play the old Fable game every now and then, but that's like all. Like, I didn't even play the old COD games when they came in or nothing. Like, I'm more of like what I'm playing now, not necessarily what came out then.
I love it, bro. Like I mentioned earlier in this show, how Dead Space Part 2 and Part 3 are two games I went back and finished. When Xbox bought ABK and they had this Call of Duty game sale, like it was like late last year, bro. You can get all the old Call of Duty games. Like some of them was like $10, some of them was $8, some of them was $3. I bought a lot of them. That's when I realized I didn't finish a lot of games in the 360 generation, a lot of CODs, and I was enjoying them. I was just playing them, man. Achievements popping up. The games were holding up pretty well. So I do love that. And that's just me. Like I said, we're two different people like that. Like, you don't care as much. I'm a little older than you. So this is like, I love it, man. I love to being able to go and play some old games that was in my childhood or even my teenage years or even my early 20s, man. Like, I still have every NBA 2K basketball game from the beginning of the 360 generation. I'm mad I don't have them from the PS2 original Xbox generation. I have every single one, and if I want to go back and play it, I can because I still have my 360 upstairs. So I do love game preservation because I do have them urges sometimes, bro. Like you ever get an urge to go listen to an old album? Addy, you ever got an urge?
No.
Really?
See,
old music, old TV show, old movie.
I didn't come from that generation. Like, I didn't watch like whole albums. Like by the time I started getting like heavy into music, I could just type in a song and play it. Like even on LimeWire and stuff. Like I never really had to like be down to like once. I don't even like. I have bought like CD albums in the past. Not many. Under 10. Easily under 10.
Yo, Gen X Gamer, did you bring up Cool Spot? I used to love that game on the Genesis, bro. That game was fire. See how those games, I love it, man.
And I think I have this bad habit. If I do try to play like nostalgia old games, I get like annoyed with the way they play and stuff. So, there's some games that age really well. It's mainly about like how a game feels. Like I don't like the old Resident Evil 4 because they messed up on the analog on it. So like it's not playable to me. That's why I'm glad they remade it. But this is something that's really important. It just, to me, it's not really doing much.
Yeah, man. I love those old compilation games, like the Sega Genesis game they dropped a few years ago. I bought that Ant Stream. I believe it's called Ant Stream. They have a whole bunch of old games on there. It was like $30. Man, I just love it, bro. Because that's how I grew up. I grew up on video games, WWE. That's what I grew up on. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop. And when I can go back and listen to some of that stuff that remind me of my childhood, and stuff like that, man. And who was that said I'm old as a dinosaur? I'm only 47, you POS. Big Papa. What is the Senpai? Whatever your name is, you POS. So yeah, I love game preservation, Alec. I absolutely love it. And Xbox, if you're a console gamer like myself, if you love game preservation, and if they're going to add more backwards compatible games,
I think they're going to.
I love it. I wholeheartedly love it because I know they're going to add ABK stuff. Excuse me, soon. But
what's funny is I used to like the old Crash games. I never beat any of them, but I liked the concept and I played them. And I wanted to play Crash Bandicoot 4, but I never bought it. And I'm probably the reason we're not getting. I'm probably the reason we're not getting another Crash Bandicoot because I didn't buy games like that. But like something like that, something that's not really.
Crash 4 was fire, bro.
Like that's why I always tell people when they're like, "Oh, Game Pass cannibalizes games." So some people, yeah, but for the most part, people like myself that didn't buy Crash Bandicoot because that game's probably coming to Game Pass. Newsflash: I wasn't buying Crash Bandicoot even if Game Pass wasn't around. It wasn't happening regardless. So,
Addict, like you never get the urge to go play Super Mario Brothers 2 or 3.
No.
Are you serious, bro? Look, I'm not a Nintendo guy at all, but there was some great memories being over my cousin's house and us playing Super Mario Brothers 2. And we all love the princess because she
that's
can
for your memory. That's for your memory.
Yeah, but it's nostalgia.
They make a new 2D Mario every other year. Play one of them.
I want to. Like Double Dribble on NES. Me and my boy down the street. I always had a Sega, but he had the Nintendo down the street. Me and my homie playing Double Dribble. That's nostalgia. I would love
you
to
want
play
me to play
games.
A game? You want me to play a game? I got to take a magnifying glass to see the sprites correctly.
Hey man, it brings back. Not just the game itself or the graphics, but the music, man. When you hear music from some of these old 8-bit games, oh, I remember this. Come on, Addict. Everything can be here. Everything can have a remake, sir.
Why not?
Streets of Rage. You don't remember the Streets of Rage?
Yes, I played Super Smash Brothers. Look, here's the thing. I'm not saying that like I don't get the urge like ever. I do, but it's not enough to care if they make a whole entire team revolved around it. You know what I'm saying? Like I could tell you right now, without a doubt, They could tell me, Attic, you ain't playing the old Final Fantasies. Now, see, there's a difference between I'd get frustrated if there was a game that I try to play that I couldn't play. You know what I'm saying? That would be annoying. And maybe it's just I'm here in the now moment where I have access to it. If I didn't, maybe I'd feel a different way. But even now, with current Attic with Fatigue, I've never felt the need to go back play like an older game. I might pop something in from time to time, like Fable, and I think I beat Fable a couple years ago again, the original one. But that's all.
Hold on, Attic. You're in your 30s, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you grew up in the 360 PS3 generation.
Yeah.
You was a teenager then. Yeah, so man. I grew up I grew up as a kid in the NES generation. In my teenage years, it was
the very first console I ever had was the SNES.
Okay.
So, I was there with the old N64 generation, all the 360 generation.
You don't want to go back and play No Mercy?
No.
N64? No?
No.
I never played that game, but I heard it's the best wrestling game ever. Damn. Donkey Kong Country, bro?
See, stuff like that, I would be intrigued, but I don't think it's necessary. Like, I wouldn't care. Like, I'm glad it exists.
GoldenEye Perfect Dark, like Tyrone just said?
Just got remade. Just got remade. And maybe that's why I don't care. Because these games are coming back. With or without you in the chat.
Listen, Donkey Kong Country Attic. I was a Sega Genesis guy, right?
Was it Donkey Kong Country on the Wii? Couldn't you buy it on the Wii?
Yeah, you could. But I'm talking, you could. But it was still like the same game. It wasn't enhanced in any way. Listen, I remember being a Sega Genesis guy, hating on Super Nintendo until Mortal Kombat 2 came out when it was way better.
You've been this hating Nintendo dude for a while.
The whole time. But Donkey Kong Country came out and I said, damn. That Mortal Kombat 2 or Donkey Kong Country made me get a Super Nintendo. I could not hate on Super Nintendo. I was like, look at these graphics. Donkey Kong Country still looks good to this day, bro. 30-something years later, still.
I remember that song at the beginning.
That song
at the beginning.
Yeah, bro, come on.
The rap song that they did.
Yeah, exactly, bro. That's what game preservation. I love it, bro. Joey, you brought up Killer Instinct on the SNES, but that music, it came with a CD. It came with a CD. And I remember playing the music CD while I was playing Super Nintendo, playing Killer Instinct on Super Nintendo. Which is, I only bought 2 Nintendo consoles for myself. And that was the Super Nintendo and the other one was the Nintendo Wii. I did buy an N64 for my ex-stepson.
Donkey Kong 64. I'm talking about a different game entirely. No, Donkey Kong 64 was the shit. I like Donkey Kong Tree. Okay, see, and people will say I'm frauding. I don't know what I'm talking about. DK1, you was Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong. DK2, you was Diddy Kong and the girl one. I can't remember her name. And I think the third one, you was the goofy one in Diddy Kong. I can't remember exactly who's in the third one.
Bro, but 16-bit games still like look decent now, though. Certain ones.
And people make a reimagining of all those games twice a year at PAX East. And maybe that's what it is. I play these games at PAX East, and it's literally the same game.
Okay. Hey, yo, Gen X gamer, let me tell you, bro. I'm a diehard Sega Genesis guy, but that Donkey Kong Country, I could not deny how great that game was. I was like, "Whoa, my god!" Then, if you watch that documentary, Console Wars, I believe it was on Paramount Plus, where you found out that they went to Sega first to use that technology. I forgot the name of the company that made that technology. I know Rare made the game, but it's some type of technology with those graphics. They went to Sega first, and Sega turned them down. I was like, "What?"
These companies keep dropping the ball, and then they went to Sega first, and that probably helped shut them down.
Yeah, bro, they went to Sega first.
Did you see where Xbox denied GTA?
Yes, yes, bro. Oh my god,
talking about dropping the ball. Look, it comes down to it. I'm okay with them doing it. And it's definitely something that they should do. It just, for me specifically, you know, I don't really, there's not too many games in the past where I played and I'm like, damn, I need to play that again. Like, I think I watched more
Silicon
movies.
Graphics. I'm sorry. Thank you, Avalanche Hound. That was the name of them. Silicon Graphics. Thank you, bro. See, I love you guys in the chat. Thank you. That was the name of the company that offered that technology to Sega first, and they turned it down. Yeah,
you know what they should do? They should make a game that's like a business simulator.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a what if scenario. What if PlayStation and Nintendo teamed up instead of PlayStation going off? What if Xbox bought Nintendo?
Oh,
or let you build a new system from scratch?
That's crazy. Man, you guys are bringing up some classics. Green BNC 78 said, anybody remember D from Sega? Said, I played it on the PS1. But I definitely remember that game, bro. It's crazy, man. You guys are bringing up some old games, man. I love it. See, Alec too young to know about that game right there. You can play that game around New York guys now. Yo, man, you play that game called D? Pause. You know, Alec was, I mean, not Alec, but King like, pause. I'm like, man, the name of the game is called D. Pause. Oh my God. Comic Zone, Soul Reaper, man, you guys are bringing up classics, bro.
I think a lot of Nintendo games are more nostalgia towards anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I definitely, you know, especially some of the old Pokemon games. I have a lot more of those.
Yeah.
Huh?
I said you wouldn't go back and play the Pokemon games?
See, I don't have to though, because they remake them every couple years.
There you go. Hey, yo, Yobi, I never heard of Ligma. Never heard of it, bro. Vector Man. I like Vector Man a lot. Act Race. You guys are bringing up some classics, man. Damn. Vector Man. See, I can still play Vector Man on that Sega Genesis collection I got. Fire, bro. Earthworm Jim. Do you remember that game, Alec? Remember that game? You a little younger.
No, I don't.
The game's dope.
Homework
So, like, to answer your question, I love game preservation. What's it mean, Dalataku? What I say? He said, no, not like this. What I say? Game Day, man. James Thomas bringing up some great stuff. Phantasmagoria. I remember that game. What? Okay. Oh, it's some joke that Yobi did. What he said, Ligma. Oh, come on, man. Okay, Yobi, you got me. Okay, man, he got me.
You guys are ridiculous. So we're gonna go ahead and start growing into our outros. We're an hour and 7 minutes, just around where I like to be when we do our outro. Dirt, what's going on, man? What you got set up?
Nothing much. I got my podcast tomorrow. Want to do some type of content. I got a couple videos. I got one video ready. I'm not ready to drop it yet, though. The timing isn't right. You know, timing is everything. So, you know, just want to have something to talk about. Joy says, Zombie ate my neighbor. So thank you guys for stopping by with us. Thanks for kicking it, man. So, yeah, my podcast tomorrow, One Man, Dark Man Podcast. I laid a link in the chat for my channel. And that's about it, man. Thanks, Addict.
Yeah, I would, you know, I won't be streaming as much because I'm actually playing a game under NDA. So usually how I'm starting with the Addict Arena, I'm probably going to still stream once or twice a week, but the majority of my time that I would stream is going to be dedicated to doing pre-recorded videos of the game I'm playing. So definitely go check out Dirt there in the comment section. My voice is kind of fucked up, so I'm gonna have to wait before I start
language.
At this point, I don't care. But you know, I appreciate everyone coming through.
Language.
Yeah, that's king more than cause. But I appreciate everyone coming through, man. We're gonna go send you guys over to Jack Moo Johnny. Jack Moo's been keeping the PlayStation people in check, man. You know, I see Jack Moo now. I see Jack Moo as like the person when they're running and he throws the stick and trips them. Like Jack's like PlayStation pony. like he been going crazy. So I'm gonna send you guys over there. You know, go in there and type in Addict Addict Show raid. What's the channel called? It is called the Addict Arena. I don't know if I'm technically allowed to tell you what game I'm playing right now. So I'm not trying to like get myself blacklisted before the show even starts.
Yeah, don't do it, bro. Don't do it.
So there is the channel. So definitely go over there and sub to that, guys, whoever want to. It's going to be dedicated to live streams. You know, we're going to be chatting in there a lot more. I probably have about 2 or 3 videos coming out at the end of the month. And then it's going to be a couple videos a day until the whole playthrough's in there. But I appreciate we're coming through. We're going to go and send you over to the Jack. Definitely go in there and show Jack some love, man. Jack's been fighting these PlayStation people. He's over there equivalently alone. He's being surrounded every day by PlayStation people, man.
Shout out to Jack Moon, man. Jack Moon, the only one that's not ignoring all the PlayStation issues right now, like everybody else is. That's focused on Xbox.
So you guys have a good day, and we'll talk to you later.